Love you guys. Love the show. Just wanted to, I haven't listened to a lot of it so far, but as far as the Bruins go, I was thinking, like, I've been watching the NHL since the 90s, and the way the game has changed, like the speed, the lack of interference nowadays, I just feel like those other teams would get away with a lot more. And the way the Bruins skate and pass, and just like the physicality of them, I feel like it would stack up right along with them, and if it's super close, that'd actually lean through.
Bill, I hate to break it to you, dude. If Steve Yzerman and Sergei Fedorov got to play in today's rules, never mind Nick Lidstrom and that team, they would skate circles around you. And for good measure, they could beat the bag out of you if they wanted to, but again, in the modern game, it's less important. So like the Maltbys and Drapers, like that whole line that they had, that whole thing that they had going on. You're not in the same class as the Red Wings of the 90s. And you're not even in the same galaxy as that Canadiens team from the 70s. If Guy Lafleur played in today's game,
score 150 goals.
You'd look at Pastrnak as some sort of scrub. Well, what would Guy Lafleur do in the 3-on-3? Do you understand what he would do?
He'd give guys vertigo. Seriously, he'd spin them so fast it wouldn't even be funny. Look, I know we've touched on this today, but it bears repeating. The Canadiens of the late 70s were arguably the greatest team ever assembled in any sport in the history of mankind. You can go back to the prehistoric age and them kicking rocks, for crying out loud. The Canadiens of that era were ridiculous. They would completely pants the Bruins and then spank them with their hockey sticks.
Get it out of your head. Anyone who wants to put it in your head. And I'm ashamed of some of the broadcasters that have put it in your head. Brickley saying last night in the first minute about, now we can debate it. Like, Brickley grew up like a lot of you here in Boston in the 70s. He saw that team, and then he played against those guys. He knows. He knows what they are.
In fact, the Bruins of the 70s were like one of the great Bruins teams in history. They got pants by the Canadiens.
I mean, about the lunch pail AC? Not as much. They weren't. But either way, we don't go too far back in history. Just get that stuff out of your head. The fact that you are ahead of the 77 Canadiens in anything is just kind of fun and cool because that team was so freaking good. So it's fun that if you read a list on the all-time great seasons and you're one and the 77 Canadiens are two, have yourself a good laugh because that's just fun. But don't delude yourself into thinking that you belong there.
It's the greatest hockey dynasty of all time.
Malik and Haverhill on the Patriots.